Good evening, Newton. I'm Angela Pitter, founder of Livewire Collaborative and proud chair of the Charles River Regional Chamber. What a perfect place. What a perfect place for a first. The West Newton Cinema, this Art Deco jewel, has been lighting up our city since 1937. Tonight it lights up again, not with movies, but with the real stars of Newton, our small businesses. We are a city of 13 villages and more than 4,000 enterprises, restaurants, retailers, nonprofits, and makers, people who turn foot traffic into thriving main streets, who turn ideas into payrolls, who turn neighborhoods into communities. Tonight, this is your stage. Newton has always balanced brains and flavor. Think about it. The Fig Newton, named for our city, was first mass-produced nearby in 1891. By 1991, Nabisco was making $1 billion a year. That's generational staying power and the dream of every founder in this room. But Newton is more than sweet history. From the Allen House that hosted abolitionists and chain makers, to UMass Mount Ida shaping tomorrow's talent, to tech innovators like Tech Target and CyberArk, headquartered here, this is a place where bold ideas take root, grow, and scale. Of course, none of tonight would be possible without our partners. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, the Village Bank, for always investing in community. To the Street Chestnut Hill, Bianca, Woodfire Kitchen and Bar, and the Bullfish Group. Your support strengthens this ecosystem and sends a clear message. Small business success is community success. So tonight, let's celebrate the people who keep Newton thriving, the risk takers, the shopkeepers, the chefs, the founders, and the nonprofits who weave every village together. Are you ready to shine a spotlight on them? Then let's begin. Please welcome our president and CEO, Greg Riemann.
Thank you, everybody, and Angela, thank you so much for coming here in your boot. We appreciate it. I actually want to introduce, before we get started with our program, Elizabeth Hellig from the West Newton Cinema Foundation to talk a little about what's happening in this building. It's a remarkable story. When we talk about what matters to our city and our community, the fact that we could have lost this building should not be lost on any of us, but we celebrate the fact that they purchased it last year, and she'll tell you about that. And I mean, this is a place where right next door, Spinal Tap and Downton Abbey are playing. It looks like a double feature. I hear one of those two movies is a parody. I'm not sure which one. But Elizabeth, come on forward and why don't you say hello to everybody.
Thank you, Greg. So I'm Elizabeth Heilig. I am the president of the board of directors of the West Newton Cinema Foundation. I am so delighted to welcome you all here today. I have a feeling that this is part of why we worked so hard to save this building, because it is your movie house. You know, it belongs to everyone who lives here, who works here, and we're so happy to welcome you all to celebrate the many people who make Newton a fantastic place to live, to raise your children, to run your business, to celebrate the arts, and participate in our community. So thank you all for coming. I just want to highlight the chamber. I believe you celebrated a centennial this year. 110. So you've got us beat. We're from 1937, so you've got us beat by a lot. I don't like to do math on stage. So you probably, in fact, this may not be the first chamber event at the cinema.
Probably not. No.
Probably not. So that's just so neat. And, you know, Charles River Chamber of Commerce does so much for this community in Newton and for the communities around Boston. So I just want to award them a virtual Walk of Fame star for everything that they do for our community. So it's up there, and you absolutely deserve it. And thank you so much for bringing this celebration to us. And we're looking forward to celebrating all of you tonight who are being honored. So thank you so much.
Can I put you on the spot? How much have you raised to date, and where are you at with your fundraising goal?
So we finished phase 2 of our campaign last year when we purchased the cinema for $5.6 million. We are now, phase 1. We are now in phase 2 of the campaign. Our total goal is $23 million, $19 million of which will be for renovation of this amazing historic building. So we are well on our way. We're very happy about the response we've received from the community, and we are looking for lead gifts to help us get to where we need to be. So we encourage all of you to support and to help spread the word, and also to come join us. We have wonderful fall programming. There is a lot going on in the space now, and it's fully programmed. So we look forward to welcoming you, perhaps for a movie sometime in the near future.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank
So I would actually ask you all to give yourself a nice pat on the back. You're here at the inaugural Newton Small Business Awards. First time. We're here now. In a couple of years, you'll be able to say you went to the first one. But when we're at this event, is at the Conti Forum, you'll be able to say, I was there back in the beginning, right? So I wanted to tell you a little about our awards. They were culled through an open nomination process. We asked the public to nominate businesses in a number of categories. We did that over the summer, and then we had voting for the top finalists for 3 awards, which were our People's Choice Awards. And then we took the nominations for the other categories, and you'll hear about those second, when our judges panel selected the honorees for that. So just to give you an idea that we had over 5,000 votes in total, which is impressive. Now, some people were able to get their family and friends to keep clicking, and that was allowed. But I do think you'll all agree that everybody we honor here is really well deserving, and that our honorees are really class acts. So I think you should all be proud, and we are so grateful to you all for being here for this one. Now, first up is our new Small Business Award. And in addition to our winner, we had 2 runners-up. And if you could stand Carla Shaw from Carla Shaw Sustainable Fashion. And also, the Cork and Board was the other one. I understand the store is still open, so they're not able to be here at this moment. But appreciate that. Those are our runners-up. So, all right. So we're going to do new Small Business Award. Who should present that? I think it should be the new guy on Beacon Hill for us, Representative Greg Schwartz. And at the same time, Representative Schwartz, could Thiago Silva come up to the front, please? Thiago, are you here? Great.
So as Greg mentioned, I'm the other Greg in the room, Greg Schwartz, new state representative from the 12th Middlesex District. That's pretty much South Newton and parts of Brookline. And I'm very, very proud to be here to present our Best New Small Business Award, which recognizes a newcomer that has opened since 2022, I believe, and is turning heads for all the right reasons. He had a clear majority of the votes. He's our 2025 Best New Small Business. It's Salt Patisserie. When renowned chef, there you go. There you go. When Tiago, a renowned chef, Silva, announced he was opening a bakery in Newton Center, foodies knew that we were in for something special. A celebrity pastry chef with a national reputation, Tiago has cut no corners in creating a special experience for everyday Newtonians. From its eye-catching interior design to its mouth-watering, handcrafted pastries, which I can attest are quite mouth-watering, Salt has quickly become a destination. It is everything you could want in a new business: creative, welcoming, and already beloved in the community. And I should add, it's beloved by folks in my family. My daughter, who's a 12th grader at South, told me, when I told her what I was doing tonight, she said, "Oh, great, and definitely tell him that I voted for it to be the best because my friends Evie and Libby said it's the awesome place to work and they always bring me good food." So you've got 2 great employees there. So join me in congratulating Tiago Silva for the Best New Small Business, Salt Patisserie.
Great. Thank you, Thiago. Thank you, Representative Schwartz. Delighted to have you here today. So I've asked Mayor Fuller to come up and present 2 awards tonight, Restaurant of the Year and Retailer of the Year. First, I want to we had couple runner-uppers. I want to recognize Carla Shaw won this category too as a runner-up. And also the Barn Shoes was a runner-up for all the obvious reasons in retail. And in the restaurant category, Patty's Pub and Cabot's were the runner-ups in the 2. So, Mayor, I'm so glad that we have you here to do the first awards that you're still mayor during the time we can inaugurate this. We're grateful. Your partnership, your collaboration with the chamber and with our businesses have meant so much to us and to me. Your support for retailers and other small businesses over 8 years has been significant. I think about outdoor dining. I think about all the things we went through during the pandemic, trying to get PPP and everything else for support and funds for them. And you were always there for us and making sure we set up a vaccine clinic secretly because we had employees who were maybe afraid of their legal status and needed to get vaccines. Even then, it was something we thought about. And we're grateful for all of that and for you to be here. To present these 2 awards, I'm going to invite both Patrick O'Hara and Mary Cotton to come forward.
While they come forward, the chamber doing this event, lifting up small businesses right now is so especially important. Greg, could you hold up the back of your clipboard one more second? Because that is what all of us are here, support local. I'm so pleased also to say that the residents of Newton are lead sponsors to the West Newton Cinema. The Community Preservation Committee just voted $2 million of support to this really important institution. It's great for the arts. It's great for the West Newton Square and the fellow retailers. Hi, Patrick. Hi, Mary. What a pleasure. Let me start with O'Hara's. So there's an Outstanding Independent Restaurant of the Year award. And to be the winner, because we've got great independent restaurants in Newton, what they were looking for is great food, a welcoming atmosphere, and community in 2 senses. It's a little bit like Cheers. You want to be part of the community when you walk in the restaurant. But there's another sense of it, which is giving back to the community. And I'm so glad so many people voted for O'Hara's. Carl and the nephew, Patrick, are a magnificent family. It's a magnificent restaurant. Okay, I've got the year here. 1985 is when they opened up in Highlands. I heard Greg somewhere that Patty's was a runner-up. Hint, hint, Patty's and O'Hara's are kissing cousins owned by the same company. So in a weird way, you have both the runner-up and the winner represented. It's a beautiful place to go. I think of it as comfort food. It's cozy, it's warm. It is a delight. You and your family for so many years have developed such a fabulous restaurant. Congratulations, Patrick. Congratulations, Carl. Bravo to O'Hara's. So many of those same qualities are found in our, let's see, this is the Outstanding Independent Retailer of the Year here in Newton. Again, I believe 20 years old. And yes, it's in Newton Center, everybody, by the way. Newtonville Books is in Newtonville Center. We love that wonderful confusion. We so desperately need readers today. And I can personally attest to a great selection, but also go in no matter what you're looking for. You and your team are amazing in helping people find the right book. They're also link authors to all of us, kiddos to reading, and I've got to do a shout out not only to Mary, but I want to acknowledge the importance of her husband, Jamie Clark. Is Jamie in the house? Jamie, there you are, who's both a partner in many, many ways to Mary. This is a store that all of you need to go by. Once you're in there, you're never going to be ordering from Amazon ever again. Mary, congratulations, and thank you for all you do for the community as well as for supporting readers. Congratulations, Mary. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Mary and Patrick, and thank you, Mayor, who not only supports us in all the ways you'd want from City Hall, but spends a lot of money in these places too, so we're grateful for that. All right, now we turn to the Judges Awards. And right there you'll see the committee of judges who helped us make this selection. And it was a really interesting and sometimes surprising conversation where these folks spent a lot of time thinking about it and evaluating them and researching it and coming up with some great decisions. And we weren't planning this, but our judges said, in addition to honoring the 3 honorees we'll honor tonight, we really ought to have some rising stars that we want to call attention to. So I wanted to call attention to 2 of them. Our first Rising Star Award goes to Shara Ertel, who is the visionary behind Fulfilled Goods. Shara, sign up one more time. And that's the Newton Zero Waste Refill Store, offering built groceries, toiletries, and household items. But Shara also partners with local schools, Green Newton, community groups, and does lots of things to make Newton sustainable. And this week she's opening a second store right next to as part of Derby Farms in Newton Center. So congratulations to that, Shara. And our second rising star, Kelly Cummings, you're here? Oh, right next to Shara. Oh, great. Kelly Cummings is with a nonprofit that you may or may not have heard of, but she's the founder and executive director of Service Stars, a Newton nonprofit that has redefined after-school care. Began as a summer camp in 2018. It's grown into year-round programs that give hundreds of kids hands-on opportunities to serve in their communities. And the thing I learned today was some of the hands-on activities they do is actually at Fulfilled Goods, and these 2 folks have been working together and partnering on helping kids learn about sustainable practices. So thank you both to our 2 rising stars. Congratulations. So now what we're going to do is, our first Judges Award will be presented by Representative Amy Sangiolo, the other new person on Beacon Hill. But Representative Sangiolo, I wanted to mention you, reference you because prior to being a U.S. City Councilor and then you were a state rep, but in between there, you formed a business that meant a lot to everyone in Newton today. And I'm talking about Fig City News, which you founded with Bruce Henderson, who's here today. And that has meant so much to us, what you've done with Fig City and the creation of the Beacon. It's hard to imagine where we would be without those 2 publications. So in a lot of ways, we should have an award for Fig City and the Beacon maybe next year. But I did want to acknowledge that. And then I wanted to ask, so come on up, Representative, and Laura Berman, if you could please come up for our Small Business Person of the Year Award.
So the Small Business Champion of the Year Award is about more than just honoring and recognizing an individual who has gone above and beyond to support Newton's small businesses. It's about celebrating the heart and spirit of someone who makes our community stronger. No one embodies that spirit better than our 2025 Small Business Champion of the Year, Lauren Berman. When Newton's small shops and restaurants were struggling through some of their most difficult times, Lauren, an Auburndale neighbor, didn't just watch from the sidelines. She rolled up her sleeves, drew on her marketing expertise, and found creative ways to keep people connected to their favorite local spots. During the pandemic, when so many businesses were at risk, Lauren became a lifeline, encouraging residents to discover new ways to dine locally and support the businesses that make Newton special. That energy and dedication blossomed into All Over Newton. It tells their stories, it creates community, and it brings people together through events like Newton's bakery crawls, craft crawls, holiday pop-ups, village shopping days, and even pop-up lunches at the Allen House. At its core, Lauren's work is about more than promotion. It's about connection. All Over Newton helps neighbors discover hidden gems, draws new visitors to our village centers, and reminds us all why Newton's small businesses make the city such a special place to live. In a region where our shops and restaurants compete with Boston, Cambridge, and online giants, Lauren makes supporting local not only possible, but fun and irresistible. She doesn't just encourage us to shop Newton, she shows us how rewarding it can be. Please join me in congratulating my dear friend Lauren, our 2025 Small Business Champion of the Year, and in thanking her for lifting up the businesses that give Newton its heart and its soul.
Thank you, Greg, and the Chamber for this
Get a little
honor.
closer to the mic.
Okay,
Maybe a little-
is that better? And can I hand you this? It means a lot to me. I started All Over Newton to showcase Newton's small businesses all over Newton and share their stories with the community. And as a number of our email subscribers, our social media followers, and our website visitors grew, it became clear that people who live, work, and play in Newton want to know about small businesses, about your businesses, who you are, where you are, what you do, your challenges and successes, what makes your business special. And when we connected small businesses with the community, something wonderful happened. Awareness about the small businesses increased, foot traffic increased, and sales increased. One of the reasons I think All Over Newton works is because we knit together each of your individual businesses into a tapestry of the city. We don't select the best bakery, but we can tell you about 29 great ones to visit in the city. And we don't select the best retail shop or the best restaurant, because each of your businesses are the best, and that's not hyperbole. I guarantee you, every small business has a contingent of customers who feel that it is the best business in Newton. And when we can share your exceptionalism with the community, then everyone benefits. Small businesses get more traffic. The community has more choices of where to shop, dine, and unwind. And the city is stronger because there's more traffic in the village's centers. So thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you for sharing your stories with All Over Newton. And I look forward to continuing to relate your stories and grow the All Over Newton network and make small businesses even stronger and the city stronger too. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Did you see how big your face was? Oh, can you go back one? Lauren, you were talking. I just want to make sure you saw how big your face was here at the West Newton Cinema. Just so you know, 'cause you may have missed it. Okay. All right, so we're in the home stretch. 2 more awards. And I'm really excited and pleased that we could get Senator Cream to be here to present our Business Person of the Year award, because Senator Cream has meant so much to our businesses as well, particularly our small restaurants, our independent restaurants. 5 years ago, in the height of the pandemic, Senator Cream called me one day and said, I have a little bit of money I want to give to something in town. I'm worried about our restaurants and how they're going to survive the pandemic, but I'm also worried about people who are hungry and food insecure. So we came up with this idea and this program that ended up calling Nourishing Newton, where we got a state grant that the senator has provided for us that purchased the meals from the restaurants. It's different than asking restaurants to give it free. Purchase the meals from the restaurants, which is different than asking the restaurants to give it up for free. And we delivered them with the thanks to our friends of the Rotary, to those in need throughout the city. And we didn't do it for 1 year. Senator Cream has actually managed to do this now for 5 consecutive years for us. This program has continued. And over that time, we've delivered 16,260 meals across the city. Each year, we involved about 25 independent restaurants who were able to get this money to do this and to be involved in it. So Senator Cream, thank you so much for that and your effort and the idea and your leadership there. And now we'd like to bring up Senator Cream and one of the recipients of those kinds of grants, but also an amazing person, Kay Masterson from.
So there should be, I guess there already have been, applause for Greg. Greg's a great partner. And when you've got an idea but you're not really sure, you call Greg. And then that idea explodes. So thank you, Greg, for the introduction, but Greg's the brainchild behind a lot of the important things that happen. So he should be getting an award as well. So Kay and Kevin Masterson took over Johnny's Luncheonette in 2014. In 2023, they acquired Cabot's ice cream restaurant. I bet half the people in Newton don't know that Joe, our wonderful Joe, is no longer the owner, because Kate is such a wonderful person and Joe is still there. And we're all so happy when we get ice cream and Joe is smiling and he's everywhere, and that is really a testament to you as well, Kate, that you're comfortable, that you feel good, and that Joe continued to be our ice cream man. So thank you for that. Both restaurants are beloved Newton institutions and hold a special place in our heart, and that would have been lost to less responsible new owners if Kay and Kevin had not stepped up. And I will say that Johnny's, when I say meet me in Newton, people say Johnny's. So that is a restaurant that everybody knows, and everybody that went to Newton High School or went to the elementary schools still say Johnny's. And if you want to have a power lunch, where do you go? Johnny's. So really, thank you so much for continuing those 2 important places in Newton. But if we're honoring Kay for her service above and beyond Johnny's and Cabot's, an organizer at heart, Kay is the first to rally her peers and speak up when our restaurants and other small businesses face challenges. And I can say I remember a conversation that we had amongst the women owners of restaurants trying to help their staff, caring about the people that work for them, caring about their chefs, and asking what we can do to help them, not help the owners, but help the people that work there. And I so appreciate your position. So they want to make Newton Center more welcoming, or proposing unique solutions for vexing problems. Kay is already ready to stand up, and she does. Similarly, Kay's commitment to the environment and sustainability, supporting local farmers, and dedication to provide jobs for those who have been incarcerated, and donations for those facing food insecurity. She is second to none in Newton, and honestly, I am impressed with your kindness and your perseverance and your understanding of what is important. So I, as well as everybody, is welcome you, impressed with what you've done, and so happy that you represent us and you're in Newton. So we cannot imagine Newton without Kay. Please join me in recognizing and congratulating Kay Masterson, our 2025 Newton Small Business Person of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I didn't even know this was happening, so when Greg told me, I was obviously very, very thrilled. So I want to thank the Chamber that has been a stalwart warrior with all of our businesses to really help shape the conversation and what we need. When I think of Johnny's and Cabot's, I think we're the caretakers because it doesn't feel like ownership. It really feels like caretaking these businesses on behalf of the community. But I just want to tell you a couple of quick stories that stay with me. It's not the mistake I made in asking Tuka Rask to spell his name, which was humiliating. It's the young woman who came in about 6 months ago by herself, looking a little downtrodden, sat alone, had a bowl of soup, and the server brought me her receipt at the end, and on it was a happy face. Pardon my language, but I'll quote her. She said, "Thanks for being so kind to me. I was having a shit day." Those are the people that I remember. I remember a woman when we first took over Cabot, dining alone with a book, and she said, "I'm in recovery. I love coming to Cabot's because I'm not facing a wall of alcohol." A retired doctor who came to Johnny's several months ago, I noticed he was talking to a staff member at the front, and it looked like a serious conversation, so I went up to see what was going on, and it wasn't a complaint that I had worried about. He was having a medical emergency, and he wasn't coming for lunch. He came because he needed help, and he knew that we would get him that help, and I called an ambulance for him. We thought he was having a stroke. It wasn't, thankfully. So those are the stories that are meaningful to me. The thing that I would like to say tonight on behalf of all of the small businesses, the retailers, the restaurant owners, one of the most inconvenient things you can do is open a brick and mortar location. Inconvenience is probably the definition of that, having hours that you have to be there and staff that you have to train and customer reviews that you have to navigate. The public is a whole other conversation. So the challenge that's happened is we've fallen in love with the idea of convenience. So people get delivery companies to bring them food, not really understanding that up to 30% of that is basically taken away from the restaurant. Or people will sit in the convenience of their home and purchase clothing or a book or a pair of shoes and not understand that that convenience is really an illusion. Because what it does is it sort of death by 1,000 purchases of local businesses that are being denied that revenue. And when we really look at it, it's very simple. You need to walk in the door of your local restaurants and your local retailers, and you leave money there. That's how this works. You don't walk in and check a price and go, "I can get this a couple dollars cheaper," or "I'll just have it delivered." Because when you shop and you dine locally, those are micro investments in your community. And we build that together. So we promise to open our doors, and we need all of the public to come in and be in relationship with us as we offer our books, our wonderful women's store clothing on Union Street, and jewelry, and wonderful pastries and dinners. But we really need to be in relationship with our customers, and people really need to understand that their convenience chips away at our ability to stay, our ability to sustain our businesses. Thank you so much for this. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Woo! Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Kate. Kate calls all the time with some ideas, and some of them are very creative, but always to the point and always with her heart in the right place, and never about helping her particular business, but really about helping the community at large or a group of businesses or whatever, and really grateful. All right, one last award. This one is extra special, and so is our presenter. Newton is generous, is blessed to have so many generous employers, including a lot of banks and other financial institutions who do stuff, but no one is more generous or more engaged in Newton than the Village Bank and our friend Joe DeVito. Joe's passion for our community trickles down to every Village Bank employee. They don't just give us philanthropic support to pretty much every nonprofit and cause there is across the city, but their team volunteers, and the enthusiasm that they provide as a volunteer at an event or sitting on boards for so many of our nonprofits is really exemplifies what's best about Newton. And Joe DeVito exemplifies that. So here to present an award to another special guy, Dave Sellers, is Joe DeVito from the Village Bank, and Dave Sellers, you can come up too.
Ready, my friend? Thank you, Greg, and good evening, everyone. The Nonprofit Leader of the Year recognizes a community member who has made a measurable impact in the past year, a visionary change maker who advances their mission while strengthening Newton's cultural and economic vitality. On a night when we celebrate our great city and the people who make it so great, I know that our 2025 Nonprofit Leader of the Year recipient is someone who makes an impact every single day. And that is David Sellers of the John M. Barry Boys and Girls Club of Newton. The Sellers family legacy at the club runs deep. David grew up within the club's walls, first as a participant, then as a coach, and now as the club's executive director. David has enriched the lives of countless young people by creating a safe space for them to go and learn and grow. The club is a place that balances athletics with the arts, education, and opportunities, preparing young people for their future. David is also the chair of the Chamber's Nonprofit Coalition and helps other nonprofits grow. I have known David for a long time, and one of the many wonderful things about him, and one that I find truly inspiring, is that with everything that David does, it is never, ever about him, but in the true spirit of community service, it is always and only about others. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce my great friend, and please join me in congratulating our 2025 Nonprofit Leader of the Year, David Sellers.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Charles River Chamber of Commerce. This is truly an honor. Unlike all of those celebrities at the Emmy Awards on Sunday who couldn't stay under their 45-second time limit, costing my dear Boys and Girls Clubs thousands of dollars in charitable donations, I'm not under such strict restrictions tonight. Greg gave me 90 seconds, so I'm gonna get it in. I want to start by acknowledging the obvious. Awards like this are not won by individuals, despite being presented to them. I'm fortunate to work for a fantastic organization that puts kids first, front and center in everything that it does. One that gives me the freedom and the trust to represent it in this community, along with the time and the resources to make good things happen for Newton citizens. And a lot of that takes place outside of the club's walls. At the Boys and Girls Club, I am surrounded by a fantastic team of employees who put their hearts and soul into making good things happen for kids. And without them, and without those young people, the club wouldn't have relevance, and I don't think I'd be a success. Lastly, I have to thank the fantastic role models who I've been fortunate to look up to over these many years. People who inspired me to grow and to learn. And whether it is the current members of the club's generous board of directors, many join us this evening in the audience, or past and present heroes of mine, many of whom have given of themselves to build this chamber and to make it a success. Men like Bob and Walter Tennant, everyone's favorite Joe Pressjohn and Joe DeVito, the two Joes. Community leaders like my hero, Tony Bibbo, who a lot of the things that I've done in my career have been modeling what he was able to accomplish. And also the successful business leaders of today, people like Michelle Desimoni and Rachel Hillman Foy, my friends. Ours is a powerful, dynamic chamber. It continues to grow in leaps and bounds, and it is an honor to be recognized by it in this way. And on behalf of all of my nonprofit friends here this evening, thank you to all of the businesses in Newton, especially the small businesses who contribute so mightily to make Newton a better place for its citizens. Thank you all so much.
All right. That was pretty good, huh? Thank you all. First, congratulations to our honorees. Thank you to the presenters, to all of you for being here for, like I said, the first one. I did want to call attention to Flora's Wine Bar, who provided the refreshments out in the lobby. Thank you for them. And they're located right a couple doors down. Also, Family Access for letting us use their parking lot, which is really important. And the great Jerry Riley on Spotlight in the back. And then also, just once again, thanks to our sponsors, and really to you. Have a great night. I'm out of talking. My voice is gone. But you can go home now. Or we can go next door and see Spinal Tap and Downton Abbey.